All right, everyone. So, what I have here is the controller, and I mentioned this in a video not too long ago about this piece right here and how I left the switch here on with the battery plugged up. And what happens when you leave the switch on with the battery still hooked up and without anything else on, like without this on, without the car on, the RC car, and basically just that switch right there with the battery plugged up. What happens is you burn it out, and what you burn out is this little chip. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there's a little chip right there that's all burnt out. Little bitty thing. So I went ahead and disconnected this piece right here, and the way to do it is you take out the screws. You have to take these out, take off the cover, then you can unscrew this from the controller. If you don't take this here off first, what's going to happen is you ain't going to be able to take it off because you can't turn it to clear that piece right there. Now this piece I built myself. All right, so what I did, let me set these aside over here. I ordered a new one. So this here is the new one. Okay, and there's a little manual thing right here. The antenna. The power cord, which of course this here already has the power cord and the hookup for the antenna, that piece right there. Now what I'm not going to do is take this apart and show you how to hook this up, but the antenna inside, this little piece right there, little itty bitty tiny thing. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's a real tiny piece. You basically unhook the one that's in here and you curl that up and put it aside. You know, normally a little bit of hot glue will hold it in place wherever you need it to be. Then you hook this here up and you curl this up to, you know, however you need it. And you drill a little hole here and you hot glue it, or 5-minute epoxy. I suggest 5-minute epoxy. If you're going to do this, you gotta be careful. You know, you don't want to screw up your controller. So, excuse me. All right, so I won't need these. These I won't need. This is what I need. I could probably use this one here. Even though I already have one, I'll go ahead and use this one because it's new, it's clean, and so I'll just go ahead and use this antenna. I figured it's a good idea. Okay, let's see. Little manual book here. Okay, so basically the antenna, yep, the antenna goes on the out. Okay, yeah, because it's transmitting that signal out, of course. All right, let's go ahead and put that aside. And let's go ahead and dig into this real quick. So, you're going to need a little Allen wrench or tool. Let's see, well, not that one. Which one was it? It was It was the smallest one. Which one was that? Oh, I think it was this one. Yep. So you want to unscrew these here. Now, if you're going to be using one of these, I'm pretty sure you'll come up with your own setup, so you won't have to unscrew this. If you make that mistake, you won't have to unscrew it. You'll just take off the old one and slap on the new one, case and all. But for my setup, the way I have it set up, you have to unscrew these here in order to get the circuit board on there and the case on there. I'll show you, a little bit more in just a second. These here are pretty easy to take apart. I don't want to be losing all the screws here. There we go. There we go. All right. So, where is it? This one here will do just fine. You want to carefully, very carefully, because it's kind of stuck with this little tape right there. So there's that. This one here looks a little bit better. Definitely better condition, without a doubt. Let's see. Yeah, it's exactly the same. The lights are a little bit different, but that doesn't matter. As long as the rest of it is going to work. And looks pretty good to me. It's a little bit different. Just a little bit. But nothing, seriously different. So this here will work just fine. All right. Let's see. We want the out here to be facing this way. Going like that. Okay? So we want to screw this on. Let me put this down. This way. So the out is over here. So we want to carefully, gently screw that on. Just like that. Until it is nice and snug. You don't want to over tighten anything with this. This is, you really don't want to. You can really mess it up by doing that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this piece right here. Just want to make sure everything lines up just right with it. Let me check out everything. Yeah, everything's good there. And I just want to make sure that everything is perfectly fine. I think it needs one more. Hold on, let me take this off. Because the plug has to be facing downwards, I believe. Yes. So this would have to tighten like that. Okay, so what it seems, yeah, it is a little bit different. So what I'm going to have to do, this here is a 5-minute epoxy, I believe. So what I'm going to have to do is, let me grab a wrench real quick. I've done this stuff plenty of times before. It's more of a pain. It really is. Kind of like a pain in the ass, when you get something that is exactly the same, but yet it is not exactly the same. So what I'm going to do, put this wrench here and carefully turn it. There we go. And what that's going to do is get it to where, there we go. All right, let me get this piece here. The lights go that way. So what it'll do is it'll turn this piece just enough to have this here, which is the plug, facing down, straight down. And the way I made this, let me show you. The way I did this here is offset to that there. You'll see why in a second. So let me go ahead, get that screwed on. I should be wearing gloves, but there isn't a whole lot of static electricity in here, which I was turning it the wrong way. Okay, which is good, you know, especially in here. This is the hobby room, so I need to turn it a little bit more. Okay. All right. There we are. Okay. Now I'll have to do some cleaning on it and whatnot because it is a little bit off. Hold on, let me see. This 5-minute epoxy here is kind of a pain, and it's kind of turning it to a direction off to the side, which is not good. So I need to I need to chisel out carefully. Of course, this knife is sharp, even though it's not exactly the greatest, but I like them that way. I like not great because what I do is I modify them, sharpen them, and they're like a like a razor blade. So I have to be real careful with this. Make sure that when I get this cleaned off, it'll be easy enough to reapply the 5-minute epoxy and get it all set up again. And I believe the last time I had went and did this, when I first built it, I had the same problem. It was kind of set a little bit out. So I had to do a little bit of modifying on it. I mean, it's trial and error, really. I've seen it drop a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it's right here in this area. I see it right there. It's underneath, right up under here. There's this 5-minute epoxy that's under there. That's being a real pain in the ass right now. It does not want to give up. It's being stubborn, but it will learn soon enough that I am more stubborn than it. Yes. I know there's much better ways of doing this. You know, let me see. I got these little blades here, but I haven't sharpened them since the last time I used them. So here would probably be a bit better to use on this instead of that big, huge knife. Well, it's not huge. It's actually very tiny, but still, nonetheless. Okay. Yeah, that's working. chisel that out. There we are. Okay, let's turn that back around. Turn that, aha. Okay. All right, let's see. Now, I will set this like that. All right, this one here. Make sure that, all right, either side, this way or this way, doesn't matter. They're both exactly the same. So I will put that there. And of course, I will have to do a little bit of modifying to get this thing straight again, but that shouldn't be a problem. Yep. All right, that's there. Okay, now put the screws back in. And before I go and do the 5-minute epoxy on it, which of course I'll do that off camera. This here is just to show you how I built this and what I did wrong the first time by leaving it on accidentally, and always unplug the daggone battery. If you don't unplug the battery from this here, then if you accidentally hit the switch and it stays on, it'll burn out. And I think, I'm not 100% positive, but I think that's exactly what happened, is I accidentally hit the switch and I didn't know, and it was on and it burnt it out, which is kind of a bummer, but you know, shit happens, right? So let me go ahead and tighten that. All right, it needs to be cleaned out a little bit more, that epoxy right here. I can see it right there. It's pushing it upwards, so let me go ahead and chisel that a little. There we go. All right, push that in. All right, so now you can see I'll use some tape to hold that down, but that's pretty much how it's supposed to be, just like that. Once I 5-minute epoxy it on there and get it all set in, right here, this is actually a piece of aluminum, this plate that I glued in. It's a piece of aluminum, so I'll clean it up and repaint it. And I also paint the 5-minute epoxy that I put on it as well. That way it doesn't look so horrible. All right, so I am going to plug that in. So that plugs all the way in, just like that. And then, I think, I'm not sure, but I can't remember, but I think this here is the antenna the way it normally would come. That's the antenna for it. All right, so then take that, screw that in like that. Now this piece here, this is for like if you have like you're using a normal controller, you know, like for a plane or a quadcopter, you would basically on the bars on it, you would hook that on there onto the bars. And I believe that is what that piece right here is for. Normally I would take that off, and I probably will later, just to, you know, get it out of the way. So there's that. Now I have different batteries for this. Let me take a look over here in my stash of batteries. Ah, there they are. Okay. Got this little burn bag for batteries. Yep, there we are. I don't know if this one has any juice in it. It might still have a little bit. So I'm gonna, basically I have Velcro on this. And there is a strap for this actually. That would be up here, I believe. Okay. Let me go ahead and pop this open. There we are. Yeah, like flying quadcopters. This is a little one. It's a Tiny Hawk or something like that. Tiny Hawk. The one I want, this one here is okay, but the one I want is an upgrade to that. I tried to do some upgrading on it because it's a much older model, and while doing the upgrades on it, something went wrong with it, and I couldn't fix it, and yeah. So I just kind of left it be. I have other quadcopters that I can fly, but where I moved to, it's not the greatest of ideas to fly them around here. I have to wait, until later. All right, let's see if this is switched on or off. I can't remember which one it is. Let's see. Let me set this here so you guys can see. Now, when it's on, those lights will turn on. And this battery here needs to slide down. It's way too close to the plug itself. Well, I turned on the controller, so actually that's not a bad idea. Turn on the controller, hello. So I believe, if I'm correct, it's best to turn on the controller before plugging this in, I believe. Okay. All right, so that's off. Aha! There it is. We have power. Bingo. So that is fixed. Now you can leave the battery on here, just unplug it. Of course, I don't know if you guys will be doing this exact setup, but still, when it's not in use, unplug it. I gotta remember that, right? So right now, it's on, so I'm gonna turn that off. Yeah, pretty cool noise it makes, huh? So there's that. There we go. All fixed, good to go. I got the big, huge spare battery. I got the smaller battery. I got other batteries for it. So, yep, there we are. All right. So, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Let me go ahead and pull this phone out of here. Camera phone. I knew that would happen. All right, so what I got here is actually pretty cool. Well, hold on. Actually, I'll show you guys in a minute. All right, so this here I got to hold the phone up over the project that I'm doing. I got two of them. One for the phone, one for the GoPro. So, anyhow, there we go, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and yeah, I will talk to y'all later.